Whoo! But as soon as the sun gets over top of this tree line, it's going to be sweltering hot. So we have breaker panels, and lots of them. Get all the breakers in the breaker bucket, scrap all the copper bus bars or anything valuable that's on these panels. We got some bare copper wires, some aluminum wires. We're going to start by pulling all of the breakers out like that. I might have to actually get a bag going because I'm going to end up filling that bucket of breakers full. Okay, they're being a little pesky. These aren't being reused in any way, shape, or form, so I'm just going to delete them like that. That's a lot easier. Give them a little tappa. Yep. And if the bus bar is basically aluminum, we're just going to skip it and tin shred it. If it's copper, we're going to go after it. For sure. Okay, so basically we are tearing down these breaker panels. You see me hammering away at some of that copper bus bar. Some of these are going to have aluminum bus bar, like that one that we're working on right now, pulling that apart. And I just told you guys, basically, if there's aluminum bus bar, I'm just going to tin shred it. It's not really worth the value and time. We're mainly trying to get the breakers and the copper bus bar, just like that one right there. Okay, so we're breaking more breakers off of them panels. Keep going. That one so happens to be copper also, I believe. So there we go, tearing that down. To it. And a pop can. Misty can. And we did have a pop can. So anyways, we kept going on this breaker panel right here. We found out that it's got a lot of copper. Hey, come on. Oh, yep, looks like we were in a hurry to get that one out and done. Now we got this unit. I didn't know how it came apart, so we just continued to smash away with it with the hammer. And, well... definitely the hammer solved that problem. So, okay, we continue to keep going on to the next panel box, break some more breakers off there, and find out that that's aluminum bus bar. We got rid of that. Here we go with this one. And show whoop. And here's the next one there. More breakers. Another aluminum bus bar. So we just basically went show whoop. And let's take my hatchet, pry these bus fuses out of here. Those are some big copper contactors. This one's an interesting box. This had some good copper weight in it, so we ended up pulling all those contactor pieces out. Broke out the hatchet, a couple of shear actions, a little snip snap, shoo whoop, and that's basically done. So pull out some aluminum wire, get rid of the box, shoo whoop, and then we open this guy up. Is any of that copper? Yeah, a little bit. I'm already having GoPro overheating problems. That's no good. Turns out it wasn't a heating problem. I have an SD card corruption issue. I have to replace my SD card. So we did that in the process of editing. So now we're messing around with this one. Broke this breakers off of there. Found out we got some good bus bar right there. You know, good bus bar action. Rip that out. Keep going, you know. Yeah, pull a little machine wire, a little bit of contactors there. Here's a big There's a big panel. And it's got a big old aluminum bus bar on the inside. Woo-wee! Right. Process this stuff real quick. Get it all laid out. This stuff. That doesn't look fun. It's glued in. You gotta like get in there with this maybe. Find out what kind of bit it takes. It looks like a flathead. We'll jam a flathead in there and try to get them loose. Yep, so then we just continue to try to get these copper contactors free, and we managed to do that somewhat successfully. So that's what you see right there. We're getting all the little screws up out of those pieces of copper. Well, then there's this unit right here, and we just snap that part, you know, and grab the hatchet, smash, and pretty much, yeah, got some copper right there. Ooh, oh boy. Just take our shears. That's going to be a number 2 chunk that just fell off of there, followed by another piece of number 2 chunk, and then you got some aluminum wire after that. And yeah, those little chunks of aluminum pieces, I just threw those in number 9. Basically, that's what that was. I'm okay with close, for sure. And yeah, since my GoPro on my head took a big fat turd and the SD card is basically cooked on it, we replaced the SD card, and the next portion of this video is going to be a non-voice overlay of all the scrap that we're about to throw up on the bench. Coming up here in just a few. But yeah, we're just sorting out our number 1 and our number 2 copper right there. Yep. Okay. You know, it all looks like copper and brass-ish. Now, if I were to throw this into, say, yellow brass, you think I can get away with that? Yeah, the most of it's copper, but it's these sockets that make it brass, and they're going to be really hard to get up off of the little bus bar chunk pieces. I think what I'm going to do with this stuff, seeing that the majority of it is good scrap, minus this plastic stuffs on the side here, smack that off of there. I think this is going to be more than good enough to just throw into yellow brass. That's what I think. That's where it's going. That's where it is going. And that's done. SD card error, huh? I don't know what's going on with this. I have to look into it. But nonetheless, we're going to keep going with this camera, and we're going to finish this stuff up right now. It's probably just too hot out here. GoPro seemed to not do good in the heat. That's what I noticed. Yep. Okay, so we got 2 more to go. 2 more of these to go. Boom and boom. We'll start with this one. How are we going to get this apart? Like that. Number 2 copper. Yeah. I like that. This should come apart easy too, I hope. Okay, You asked for it. One of these. Break all the tabs. Yeah. All right. So there is all our copper from those breaker panels. Right here. Let's sort out the number 1 and number 2 and throw it in our baskets. Number 2 copper, it's tin coated. Same for that stuff. This is copper breakage. This is good number 1 clean stuff right there. Same with these little giblets. Oh yeah. That's clean. This is almost clean. I just got to cut that off with a shear. Beautiful. Number 1 and number 2. Number 2, copper breakage. Actually, that's aluminum. Woo! There's our number 2 copper and our number 1 copper. Goes right in there. Number 1 copper right here. Clean up our work area. We're going to throw stuff from that roller buggy up onto this bench right now. So we end up getting the roller buggy almost basically emptied out. And that's what we're going to be working on next. As soon as I get my butt out there, we are emptying out all the stuff out of that roller buggy and all the wires. I emptied out on this. Oh, look at this big old cast aluminum thing. That can go right in the cast aluminum bag. There ain't no scrapping that's really needed on that. Right there. It's in this basket. Look at that. I got another bin. Oh, it's all rust water in there. I think that's copper though. I could be sorely mistaken. There's so much rust on it I can't even tell. Yeah, it's copper. Number 2. For sure. Oh hey, we got another basket we can... We got some more pop cans over here. That roller buggy is almost empty. I'm hoping to get it all up on the bench right now. That would be freaking awesome to be able to start rolling that thing around. A bunch of wires in there. Need a bit more. You can do it. You can do it. Oh. What is it? Oh, it's wires. There's some heavy brass inside this basket. Right there. Got some heavy faucets in there. Ooh, bungee cords. Sometimes there's tools in the mix that I try to save over time, and I just found some of it. There's bungee cords in this box. Light fixtures. A couple of doodads. Look at that. Really good start. Okay. So, our next batch of scraps coming up today is going to be this bench full right here, which is a pretty good bit of non-ferrous wires, and the roller buggy's empty. That's awesome. Super happy for that. So I got to figure out why I'm having an SD card error with another SD card. It's probably due to the heat. GoPros don't do good in the heat. I think I said that already. Let's start working on this bench full. Yeah. All right, let's do this. We're gonna get this sorted out. It's evening time right now, and yeah, the mid part of the day I decided to go inside, so that's what we did. But we're out here now. We're gonna finish up this workbench load, and the roller buggy is completely empty. That was a good accomplishment for the day, I think. It's like an electric motor. There's a little bit of brass up on there. You twist that apart. Brass. Some pop cans. Alright, the reason why I keep missing with the pop cans is because that handle to the magnet is right there. I noticed it bounced off again and again. So that's just all plastic. I must have been really tired when I grabbed this. Usually I just snap them off there by hand, but at one point I decided just to take the whole thing. Stuff that needs the grinder, I set it to the side into a pile and do them all at once, pretty much. Yellow brass right there. I'm gonna pull this garbage bag back in here with me. This is going to be all brass faucet right here. This thing is heavy. I'm going to check in a few places, but oh yeah, that's all brass. Even that is, yeah. Sometimes this little sink stopper pulley, sometimes those are just stainless steel, but that's even brass. 3-4 pounds right there. It's awesome. In she goes. Some of the easiest scraps right there when you get good stuff like that. Got a light wire. I think this is steel BX wire. It definitely is. That one's not. That's aluminum. But there's some steel BX in here that needs to get off of the table. It's connected to the aluminum with a zip tie. Ooh. Almost knocked out Ogre over there. Ogre camping fan. That right there. Yeah. There's MLC. That's aluminum. some number 9, or you know, extruded aluminum. Yeah. Light wire. Basically, it was just a really thick extension cord. More MLC right there. This is extruded aluminum, probably some window trim of some flavor. There you go. Honestly, these little security cameras, usually what I do with them, they're mainly cast aluminum. So if I can find my frickin' hatchet wherever I put that thing, I was hoping to have uncovered it. There it is. I just bash the glass out and I clip the wire and I throw it in cast aluminum. See that? Yeah, there's a little schmutz in there, but it's mainly cast aluminum. It's what I throw it in as. And I only take it to that extent. I usually don't open them. Some weird random tool, we'll just check that out later. Whatever this thing is. Looks like breakage to me. Yeah, that's aluminum breakage if I've ever seen any. I ain't taking that apart here. There's a little bit of tile trim aluminum. I think it's stainless, but it could be brass. Sometimes they're brass. This one's stainless. And usually these ends aren't even stainless. The ends are magnetic. See? So you'd have to even cut the ends off to throw it in your stainless bag, you know, to do that. I do sometimes. Stainless steel. I just turned in a bag of stainless steel not too long ago. Last Saturday, I think. Yeah. There's some real fine stuff to go through right there. But still good scraps. There's some good, like, yeah, it's like concentrated machine wire and it's really clean. I'd love to just throw that basically directly into machine wire after I clip this stuff off that has electrical tape on it here. Yeah, maybe a little cut ski on that, get that off there. One more. All right, machine wire. And the reason why I go to a fuller extent to pull electrical tape off of this wire is that this is the wire that I'm going to be running through my granulator toward the end of the summer. Okay, I want this stuff to be clean with no electrical tape on it for the real reason of that stuff is hard to get out once you granulate it. It likes to cling to the copper, if you can imagine it, because it's got that one-sided sticky adhesive thing to it, you know, because it's tape. it is very hard to get that stuff to leave the copper. And it's easy enough for me to just to make sure I don't put anything in there that has electrical tape on it. So yeah. Okay, let's start going through this little bits of machine wire here on this right side. There's all sorts of sawdust and all kinds of crap here at the bottom once we start digging into it. That is another thing, is, you know, you guys that really watch a lot, you'll notice that I have two different baskets for my machine wires. And that would be one of the reasons why this type of machine wire would end up over in that bucket, is because it's dirty one way or the other, and I don't want to justify the amount of time it takes to clean it to put it in the basket, that basket of machine wire material that's going to go to my machine for processing, you know. And I save so much of this machine wire that I don't mind selling a little bit of it. And, you know, this stuff is like some of the most highest paying scraps that I come across the most often. You know, this stuff is commonly in like BX wire and stuff like that, but sometimes you'll find it in the dumpster just straight up like this, you know. Same wire, it comes out of Romex. That's probably where this came from. I'm seeing empty Romex sleeves right here. Some of it's not empty though. But there, this box that I dumped right here that has all the wood shavings and stuff in there, this is going in this basket. But yeah, this box more than likely came from the Electrician. Toward the end of the day, he was sweeping up his workspace where he was installing all this wires at, right? And he was sweeping the floor, and this is all the stuff that you know, this is all the garbage that he would have generated in a day's worth of work. And then that stuff ends up right into a dumpster, and then I come across it and I grab all the copper out of it and all the wire, even bare bright pieces like this. But I could understand from the tradesman's point of view, the reason why this stuff ends up in dumpsters is because those guys work full days, and you know, they don't have time at the end of the day because they're gonna still keep going. They got families to get home to, they got dinner to eat, this, that, the other thing, you know. Some guys don't care about the scrap because they have other things to be doing, because they already worked the whole day, and you know, that's, I can understand that. You don't think about the little things when you've already had a full day's of work, is basically what I'm just saying anyway. But I understand that perspective because I was a tradesman, construction worker for the majority of my life, and I understand completely why they throw it out and when they throw it out. Because I see this, you know, oh, the old man would have a heart attack if I threw that Romex in there. See that screw sticking out of each side? Someone made this into a handle of some sort, I can see that. But yeah, I better not put that in there without taking those screws out. He'd be tripping if he seen that. Aluminum breakage. Cast aluminum, chunky. It's got some smuts on the end right there. Not that bad though. But fix the SD card issue with the camera.
it's not going to be a problem now, I don't think, unless it shuts off now, like right now. I don't think it will. But yeah, picking through small scraps like this can get annoying really quick, so I try not to spend too much time on it. I always try to remind myself and go, hey, hurry up, you know. That part take too long. Thinking about it in the back of my head, you know. Okay. Okay, this is going to be all palm wire. I just need to get these little ends right here. Little pesky birds. I couldn't believe how many ends came off of that one that we processed in the last video. I thought it was going to be just a nice big box of nice thick machine wires until I flipped it over and I was like, holy guacamole. Like, that was not the case, dude. It showed me. Oh man, I ended up seeing like 100 different plug ends, 200 different plug ends on the one other end of the box. Whew, that was interesting. Ooh, little chunks of brass down in this box. Look at that. So the rest of this is getting ready to get all scooped up and tossed into the garbage. I've done pick through it enough. More than I want to. Clean all this up. I could have sat there and probably picked through that for another 5 minutes, but that was so much more satisfying to get that away from me. I got an important package I'm going to be picking up later on this evening, and I don't want to be late for it. Okay. Whew. Firecrackers. Mason, no. You're fine. I'm already sweating bullets, and I've only been standing out here lightly sorting stuff. let's lay into it. Let's get it done. Cat wire. I am so getting a new pair of clippers. I'm tired of having to try to put like thread lock and stuff on the end of those. They keep the little nut and bolt keeps backing off. It's very annoying. This is basically comm wire. That's where it's going to. Yeah. Sweating bullets now, man. Oh. Number 9. Dude, it's in the evening time and it's still bad out here. It's almost 7 o'clock right now. Probably end up being a late upload. If these bags ever give me a problem, I do have an extra hand right here. And just pop them up. Perfect. Because those bags are so close to me right here, they don't have to be open up all the way for me to get stuff in it. Yeah. And no electrical tape either. That looks good. That's a heavy basket of machine wire. We'll be emptying this out first thing in the morning and adding it to the stockpile back there. Edit the other half of this video quickly and go get my package I told you guys I was gonna go get. It's waiting for me, so I need to go get it. This will be a fun one.